Hello, my friends. Welcome back. How was your weekend? I hope you had a good weekend. Okay, let's read our inspiration for the day. You can't control how other people perceive you. Anything you do or say gets filtered through the lens of whatever personal things they are going through at the moment, which is not about you. Just keep doing your thing with as much integrity and love as possible. Okay, let's see what I'm up to today. Okay, I pulled this mold out here and I have casted in this mold about 2 different times, and both times was a complete failure, and I'll tell you why. Every time I let the pieces cure and then I put my book on them, because this is like a book holder or like a recipe book holder, something like that. A music holder. Every time I would place my book on it, it would eventually keep moving and keep moving and keep moving until it, would completely collapse almost. And no matter how long I let it cure, it would still try to go down a little bit. We're going to use Let's Resin Epoxy for this, and it's a part A and a part B epoxy. And we're also going to use polyurethane resin. And I'll tell you about that when we get to that part of why I chose to use that with this right here. Okay, I have some resin sitting to the side here, and we're going to put this iridescent iris into my cup. And I chose to use some gold flakes, iridescent iris, and some clear resin. And we're also going to put some flowers in this piece too. And I mixed up 80 milliliters. That's 40 of A and 40 of B. And I'm going to open up this glitter right here because I got to have glitter. And I'm going to drop some of the glitter into all 3 of the cups. I don't have anything in that 3rd cup yet, but I'm just going to drop a little bit of glitter in there too. There's no resin in any of these cups yet. Okay, now I'm going to take my resin and I'm going to put some down into this where I put the iridescent iris in it. And I'm going to go ahead and speed the video up a little bit because all I'm doing is going to mix my the colors up that I'm using. Okay, and I'm going to take this time right here to talk a little bit about why I chose to use polyurethane resin. First of all, polyurethane resin, this is my very first time using it. So I have no knowledge of it. I have no experience with it at all. But my thought was, from watching other people use it, was I could put it, like a layer of it, in between my epoxy to harden it up to make it where it wouldn't collapse anymore. So that's my thought. That's where I'm trying to go with this. I don't know if it's going to work. Like I said, I've never used polyurethane resin before, but I do know that I've seen people dome with it before. So if you can dome with it, surely I could put it in between a layer of my epoxy. So that's what I'm going to try. Whether I succeed or fail, I don't know, but I'm going to go dive into this head first and see what I get. Okay, I sprayed my mold with alcohol, and that's to help out with bubbles forming when I, first pour that resin onto my mold. And I'm just going to take this color here, the iridescent iris, and I'm not going in any certain way. I'm just, putting it down in my mold a little bit. I'm trying to save space for what I'm pouring right now, my gold leaf. And I'm trying to save space for my clear resin. Where I'm pouring the clear resin at, I want to lay down flowers. And maybe put a few baby's breath in with the gold leaf. So that's why I'm, putting it in different, each color in different spots, areas onto the mold. Now I'm going to use my heat gun and I'm going to pop some of the surface bubbles. And now I'm going to take my tool And I'm just going to make sure that there's no bubbles in here. I'm making sure that the resin is completely covering the mold because I only put a little bit of resin in here. This is a pretty big mold, and I only mixed up 80 milliliters of resin. So I'm only really covering the surface of this mold because I need to save room for the second layer, which is going to be the polyurethane resin. And then the third layer, which is going to be doming that polyurethane resin back with epoxy resin. And I'm not sure if I'm going to take that step yet. I don't know what the polyurethane resin finish is going to look like. But if I don't like the polyurethane resin finish, then I'm going to dome it with epoxy resin, my Let's Resin epoxy. Okay, right now I'm just spraying these flowers with a little bit of alcohol and hoping that no bubbles form on them underneath while I put them into the resin, because if they're underneath the flower, of course I can't see them there. So I'm just going to spray it with a little bit of alcohol in hopes that no bubbles will form underneath there where I can't see. Okay, now I'm just going to finish laying these flowers and my baby's breath and stuff, and then I'll meet you back when I get done. Okay, now I'm going to pop in right quick, and I'm going to let you know what I'm doing here with this silicone tipped tool. All I'm doing is I'm pushing my flowers down and hopefully releasing any of those air pockets if there's any trapped underneath those little flowers. And that's what you see me doing when I'm pressing those flowers down. And I'm just emptying my cup out here with the rest of the resin that I had left in it. And I'm going to get a little bit more resin, and we're going to add another color to this. But I'm going to go ahead and drop in a few of these baby's breath right quick. And I dry my own baby's breath and some of my greenery and a few of my flowers. I don't dry all of my flowers that I use, but I did dry these baby's breath that you're seeing me use. Now I have 40 milliliters of resin, 20 of A and 20 of B. And I'm going to take some of this mother of pearl mica powder. It's a beautiful white pearl. And I want to add a little bit of white into this and mix it in with that iridescent iris. And I'm only going to travel the same area that I traveled with the iridescent iris with this mother of pearl. And I'm just getting the mica powder mixed up in my cup right quick with just a tiny bit of epoxy. And then you'll see me add the rest of my epoxy now. And then I'll go ahead and get that stirred up. And that way it doesn't incorporate a ton of bubbles into my cup. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take that mother of pearl and I'm going to just drop it in certain areas and move it around. I just want to bring some of this mother of pearl out. Just a little bit. I don't want a lot of it. Okay, I'm just using my heat gun, running it around and popping any of the surface bubbles and just moving my color a little bit around in there. And now I'm going to move a little bit over here of the colorant. I'm just continuously moving that color till I'm happy. And then I'm going to spritz a little bit of alcohol because that color will move inward a little bit more as it cures. And now it is cured. So let's take a look at it. On those flower stems, some of them are going to be poking up. I don't know if you can see them. And I'm going to take my scissors and snip them off. See, that one is poking up. I'm just going to take my scissors and just snip it off. And I'm going to run through here and do that with any of them that I see poking up. Any of the stems that I see poking up. That's why I don't worry about them when I'm laying them down. I just leave them there and deal with them after it cures because it's just so much easier. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to the polyurethane resin. Let's Resin sent me this to try out and review on my channel. And I'm just reading some of the things on the front of the box here. And it says it dries, it's white when it dries, opaque white when it dries. Now let's open it up and see what's inside of the box. Okay, I see some instructions here. Oh, and a thank you card. That's cute. Thank you for your purchase. And that's just stating that if there's a problem, we're here to help you. You know, any leaks in the bottle or anything like that. And here's the user manual. I'm just browsing through it right quick, you know, because I've never used this before. So I'm just, you know, reading the directions and everything a little bit. I see here it's a 1-to-1 by volume or by weight. So that means we can do it in a measuring cup or we can do it on scales. Okay. And I'm just looking here. You can demold it after 10 minutes. And we're going to stir for 2 minutes. And I believe the working time with it is probably like a minute. Okay, it came with some gloves and a part A and part B. All right. I did circle this right here. It says by volume or by weight. So I got my scales out. And we're going to weigh it so that I make sure I get equal amounts in each one because I've never worked with this before. So I want to make sure I get everything right. Okay, we need to pull these caps off right here. And usually they just pop right out. But this one's giving me a little bit of a trouble. I've never had one do this before. It looks like the top of the bottle may be a little bit squished though. I'm not sure. I'm going to take my little tool here and run it down in the edge there and see if I can't pop that seal off of it to make it come out a little bit smoother. Now let's see if we can pop it out. Yes, there it is. Okay. Now I'm just going to recap that and I'm going to get the other bottle right here and let's see how, if this one comes. Yeah, that one popped out easy like they always usually do. I don't know why that other one, you know, was like that. I've never had one like that before. Okay, I have cups here. I'm going to tear my scales out, and that means just clear my scales out. Bring them back to 0, and now I'm going to go ahead and pour. Okay, I don't like how that pours. It's getting it all on the side of the bottle, so these would probably be good with some pumps. Okay, I'm going to put my other cup up there, tear my scales out, bring them back to 0, and now I'm going to pour the other one. Okay, this is doing the same thing, running down the side of the bottle. It got all on my scales. So I'm going to clean that up right quick, and I'm going to go and I'm going to grab one of my my little things that I suck up resin in. I can't think of the name of my pipette. Yes, I'm going to grab a pipette, and I'm going to just I only need a little bit more, so I'm just going to grab it with this because I didn't need a whole lot. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more. We're not quite there yet. Okay, we're good. Okay, now here's part A and part B. And you know I'm going to add glitter to it. I don't know what it's going to do in there. So I'm just going to put a little bit in there. Okay, and I'm suited up and I'm ready to go, y'all. All right, here we go. I have my clock over there ready to push the button on it, which I'm so nervous I forget to do. But I do realize that I didn't, and I reach over and I push the button. And I'm just going to stir until I feel my cup getting, you know, too hot to touch, really. Okay, I see it getting clearer than it was before. I'm not seeing any, you know, like any waves in it. It looks really clear. Okay, it's getting really hot, so I'm going to go ahead and pour it. I sprayed a little bit of alcohol. Okay, and I'm realizing now that I did not mix up enough. And this stuff sets up so fast. I don't even have time to move it to the edges because it is already gelled up at a gel state. I mean, that was so fast, you guys. And now it's starting to cure. Can you see it turning white? So now what we're going to have to do you see the spots where I was pointing at that we missed? I'm going to have to add some more to try to get that area. Because I want, you know, that's why I'm doing this right here. That's why I'm adding the polyurethane resin. Because I want this layer to be hard in the middle. So that when you put a book on this, it doesn't, you know, slowly try to disfigure the book stand. And I got a little bubble in there too. But I'm realizing as I turn it over, I'm feeling my mold bulge out. And I'm not liking that. Because what that tells me is when I demold my piece, it's going to remain like that. So I'm already worried and concerned at this point. I don't understand why it done that. It's right here. I feel a bulge right here. And it goes all the way over here. But I'm going to continue moving forward because, you know, I've already invested so much time in it at this point that even if I keep it for myself, you know, it's going to be a win for me. Okay, I mixed up just a little bit more to cover the areas that I did not get. And I know what that's going to do. That's going to make it look lumpy in other areas, you know, because I can't cover it again, because then I won't have room for my layer of epoxy. And now I don't have a choice. I am going to have to put epoxy, you know, behind this. If I don't, you're going to be able to see where I'm dropping this extra polyurethane resin in at. It's going to be, you know, risen in other areas and flat in areas that I didn't pour it. And see where I'm at right now, that's where the bubble was at. So I went ahead and covered that. And I'm able to drag it to the edge now. I think I stirred too long the first time, because now I have time to drag it to the edge and it's not gelling up on me right now. So I think I stirred it too long the first time. Okay, now that is cured, that polyurethane resin, as you can see, has left it lumpy in spots. So now I have some regular epoxy, the Let's Resin epoxy. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and stir it up, and I'm mixing in my white casting craft to make it white. Because if I don't, when I put the clear on here, you're going to be able to see those lumps that the polyurethane left if I do it clear. So I'm adding a little bit of glitter into it. And I'm just stirring that up, my casting craft, into my Let's Resin epoxy. I'm going to spray a little bit of alcohol to help with the bubbles. And now I'm going to go ahead and put down my epoxy resin. Hopefully I made enough. If I didn't, no biggie. I can mix up some more of that and it won't leave, you know, it won't do like the polyurethane resin did. I can whip some up real quick, throw it on there, and it'll blend right in with the rest. Okay, I didn't mix enough up. I'm going to have to mix a little bit more up. You would think I would know how much I needed at this point. I don't understand why it bulged my mold out like that. Does anybody know why it done that? I mean, this is my first time using polyurethane resin. So I'm not sure what I done wrong. But I know I'm going to have to remake this, because I wanted one to go in, you know, to put in my shop. And I know I'm going to have to end up keeping this one. And I wanted, I'm probably not even going to get to finish this one because, you know, I'm not sure what it's going to look like when I demold it. I do want to put some gold trim around, you know, the outside of it with the Let's Resin metallic markers. Okay, and right now, this is the second part of the mold that I'm doing. I already laid down my flowers and all of that. I didn't bring you through that part with me because we done that on the first one together, and I done it the same way. Now I'm mixing up the polyurethane resin. This is for the second one. And I mixed up enough because I know how much it took to cover it this time. So this time around, I'm covering it completely with the polyurethane resin. And I'm curious if this one is going to bulge too. Maybe it done it because I didn't put enough on it the first time. I don't know. I have no idea why. But I'm curious to see if it does it to this one too. It looks like I'm going to have a tiny bit of that left over. But I wanted to make sure that I had enough. Okay, it's curing now. You can see some of it's turning white. It's getting wider and wider. Okay, I'm spraying a little bit of alcohol before it cures. Okay, and now I'm here. It's fully cured. And now we're going in with that layer of epoxy with the Cast and Craft white in it. And this is just to fill the mold completely up. And I mixed up enough this time. Now I'm using my heat gun, moving that resin around a little bit, making sure that it covers the whole mold. Making sure I pop any surface bubbles. Okay, I'm going to cover it and I'll see you back. Okay, we're back and it is fully cured. So let's take it out. I do feel that it has bulged in this one too. I can feel it. So it is rock solid though. I can tell you that much. And that's what I was going for. That's the whole reason I wanted to put the polyurethane resin in here. I'm not sure if I done it the right way or not. But I don't understand that. If you can dome with polyurethane resin, then how come you can't do it this way? I don't understand how it bulged my mold out like that. I don't get it. So if somebody could explain that to me with the correct answer, then it would help me to know where I need to go from here, you know, using it. I'm trying to turn it to the side to let you guys see. I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but it is a lump there from where it bulged my mold out. And it's in certain areas. Can y'all see that? See my finger, how I'm rubbing my finger over it? Looks like a little resin tumor. Oh, goodness, it's terrible. Just terrible. My goodness. But I'm going to go ahead and put some of my decals on it, because at this point I'm going to keep it myself. And I can't, if I dome it with resin, then it's going to come off of the side because of the lumps that it's got in it. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to seal my decals yet that I put on here. This is the second one that we're demolding. And I love how they look. They're beautiful. Just beautiful. I love those fall looking flowers that I put in there with the gold leaf. But this one's done the same way. I don't know if y'all can see how it's risen on there when I rub my finger across it. See? This one's got the bulge in it too. And one's not any worse than the other. They done it, you know, just about as much as they're about equal. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't understand that. Now, I do know that epoxy resin, if it flash cures in your mold, it'll bulge your mold like that. So I don't understand that. Okay, I'm putting it together, and let's take a look at it. It's beautiful. I absolutely love this mold. But, you know, I've got to figure out how to make it rock solid, rock hard, you know. So what do you guys think of this? You think it's pretty? Let me know what you guys think of it in the comment section below. I'm going to bring you down and let you take a little bit closer look at the flowers and stuff. It turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love it. I'm super bummed about how, you know, it bulged in certain areas. But, you know, these things happen. It's my first time using polyurethane resin, so this is a learning curve for me. I love to learn new things, and I love working with new products. I was just really, I had high hopes for this working. But I'll just have to, I'll have to figure out a way. Look at those beautiful wisp of the mother of pearl running through the resin. It just looks so beautiful in there. I love how it looks. And this was not the polyurethane resin's fail. This was my fail. I really enjoyed working with the polyurethane resin. I really am going to experiment more with it because I do see it being a great product. It's definitely going to open up new doors for me. Which doors that is, I'm not sure yet. But I'm definitely curious about it. It's definitely got me curious. So I'm going to be working with it some more and trying to get better with it and using it. And I'm definitely going to figure out a way to make this mold here a lot more, you know, sturdier. Because when you put, my Bible is kind of heavy, and when I put my Bible on it, it wants to slowly collapse it. So I'm trying to find a way to make it really hard and really sturdy. So when I put my Bible on it, it won't do that. And my pastor and his wife, they have an anniversary date coming up, and I would love to make them one of these, you know, for their home. So I'm trying to really perfect this before I do that, because I would hate to give them something like this. And then, you know, 2 or 3 months down the road, next thing you know, the whole thing is collapsed on their table or wherever they place it at. That would be terrible. So I really have to test this out, you know, and see how I'm going to work it. Okay, I have my decals out now. These are just some rub-on transfers right here. And I'm going to place this one down probably right here. And then I'm going to pick another one off of this sheet. And I'm going to put one more on here. I don't want to crowd it up, but I do want to put at least one more probably over here in this left-hand corner. So I think I'm going to cut out this love right here because I like how it's stacked on top of each other. You know how they done the word love? They stacked the L and O on top of the VE. And I think that's really cute. So I'm going to put that one probably right over here somewhere. I'm going to trim it up a little bit more. And then, yeah, we'll probably put it right there. Because when you slide that other piece in here, this is going to be on the bottom half. And then we'll probably put 1 or 2 on the other one. And I'm just taking alcohol and wiping where I'm going to be laying these at, because it seems to lay them down a little bit easier and make them stick more. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take my tweezers here and hold this with my tweezers so I can kind of see where I'm going to lay it at. Okay. And now I'm just, oh, I grabbed the wrong thing, y'all. I was trying to reach for the popsicle stick. I'm just taking that popsicle stick and I'm rubbing over the top of my decal. And it's just rubbing it off onto my piece. And now I'm going to lift it and see if it fits attaching on there. And it is. So now I'm going to move down to the V and the E. That's how I test it. I get one of my skewer sticks and just lift it up just a little bit, you know, to see where I'm at with placing it on there. And it looked really good, so that's why I'm moving forward on down to the bottom here. Okay, let's test it again. It looks good, so let's go ahead and peel it off. There it is, and it turned out beautifully. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to get the forgiveness one, and I'm going to go ahead and lay it down too. Okay, let's go ahead and peel it off. I think it is on there pretty good. And I'm just peeling really slow in case I have to push it back down and scrape some more. But it is perfect. That is so cute. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, I'm going to get the other one over here, and I think I'm going to go ahead and put this one on it. And I probably won't add any more onto this one. I'll probably just do this one and then be done with it. Because I don't want to put a whole bunch on here because I love how it looks and I don't want to cover any more of it up. Okay, let's lift it and see if it's ready. I think it is. I'm going to peel it really slowly. Okay, let's pull it up and take a look at it. It turned out beautiful. I absolutely love how this piece turned out. Only thing I don't like is the lumps it has in it. So once again, if anyone knows why the polyurethane resin reacted the way it did and why it caused it to lump up like that, I would really appreciate it if you would share that with me. I would really be grateful. I'm going to be working with this some more and trying to perfect this piece right here. Okay, here's both pieces. I'm going to lay them beside each other because really putting them together, you know, the epoxy resin's not fully cured. So I don't want to really, you know, attempt messing it up. So I'm just going to take it apart and lay them next to each other and then stay at the end for the glamour shots because I'll put it together and lay a book on it really quick so you can take a good look at it and see what it looks like. It's about that time, my friends, for a sweet goodbye, and I will see you tomorrow. God bless you. Goodbye, my friends.